Hello friends, welcome to technical and option chain analysis. So before we start our option chain analysis, let's see what has Nifty done today. So if we see yesterday's closing, that is around at 11,313. If we see today's opening, that is around at 11,360. It means almost 30 points of gap of opening. So if we see the 15-minute candlestick chart, we can clearly see that Nifty was in a uptrend. Now if we see yesterday's 15-minute chart, we can clearly see that around at 11,415 to 11,420 was a strong resistance zone. Reason being, if we see over here from this zone, Nifty started the downfall yesterday. So if we see over here in today's 15-minute candlestick chart, we can clearly see that Nifty faced the resistance, but 11,400 act as a strong support. We can see that this four candles try to go further down below to the 11,400, but none of the candle closed below the 11,400. We can see finally the up move in the Nifty. Finally, the Nifty closed at 11,430. So now let's go to the option chain and we'll try it out. We'll try to find out support and resistance for the 16th of October. So as the Nifty closed around at 11,428, we'll start our analysis at 11,400. First of all, we'll study the puts to find out support, and then we'll study the calls to find out the resistance. So let's see what we have at 11,400. So at 11,400, we can see that net change is minus 72 and change in open interest is almost 1 million records. And the cumulative open interest is almost 17 lakhs. So we can see that put writers or put sellers sold the contracts in a huge number at strike price 11,400. Now, if we see further down at 11,300, we can see the change in open interest is almost 9.3 lakh contracts, and the cumulative open interest is almost 23 lakh contracts. And as the net change is minus 49, it means the put writers or put seller sold the contracts at price 11,300. Now, if we go above side at 11,500, we can also see that the net change is minus 93 and the change in open interest is 1.8 lakh contracts and the cumulative open interest is 3.5 lakh contracts. So over here, put writers or put sellers sold the contracts, but if we see the change in open interest, the quantity is not in a big number. So after studying these three strike price, we can clearly see that the highest cumulative open interest is at 11,300 strike price. But if we see the 11,400, we can see almost 1 million record has been added at this strike price. So 11,400 is going to be a very strong support for us on the 16th of October. And if Nifty try to go further down, then 11,300 is going to be a very strong support. Reason being, we can see almost 23 lakh contracts are there as an open interest. So now let's go to the call side and we'll try to find out the resistance for the 16th of October. So if we see the strike price 11,400, we can see the net change is plus 30 and the change in open interest is minus 2.1 lakh contracts. It means the call writers or call seller who sold the contracts at strike price 11,400, they have unwind their position at this strike price. That's why the net change is plus 30 and the change in open interest is minus 2.1 lakh contracts. But still we can see the cumulative open interest is almost 14 lakh contracts. So this means that at 11,400 the resistance level is decreasing. Reason being, we can see at put side the put writers or put sellers sold the contracts in a very huge amount, and if we see at call side, we can clearly see that call writers or call sellers unwind their position. So for tomorrow, 11,400 is going to be a very strong support. Now, if we see further down at 11,500, we can see the change in open interest is almost 1.8 lakh contracts and the cumulative open interest is almost 16 lakh contracts. And if we see further down at 11,600, we can see that change in open interest is 2.2 lakh contracts and the cumulative open interest is 13 lakh contracts. If we see the difference between the cumulative open interest and the change in open interest, it is a a very big difference. It means the call writers or call sellers who sold the contracts at strike price 11,500 and 11,600, they have not unwind their position. And if we see the highest cumulative open interest at call side, this is at strike price 11,500. So 11,500 is going to be our first resistance for the tomorrow. And if Nifty try to go for the upside, then 11,600 is going to be our second resistance. So in our previous videos, we have discussed in a 2-hour candlestick chart, Nifty is in a bearish trend. So now if we draw the trend line, we can clearly see that Nifty closed today above to this trend line, which indicates the bullishness in the Nifty. And if we draw the uptrend line over here, see this is the uptrend line. So we can clearly see that Nifty is in a bullish trend now. Reason being, Nifty today's closing is above to this trend line. Now, if we see the further resistance for the Nifty, then around 11,560. This is going to be a first resistance. Reason being, we can clearly see that from this strike price, Nifty started the downfall. And if Nifty closed above to this strike price, then around 11,581 is going to be a second resistance. Reason being, if we see from here, Nifty started the downfall, and again, even if we go further backside, we can clearly see that around this price, Nifty started to go down. So, if we want to bound a Nifty in for tomorrow, then according to my analysis, this is going to be a 11,300 to 11,600. So now one thing I want to add over here, even since last 3 days, we can see that put writers or put sellers are selling contracts in the upper side. And 2 days back, it was at 11,200. Yesterday, it was around at 11,300, and today we can see at 11,400. The put writers sold the contracts in a very big number, which indicates again the bullishness in the Nifty. So thank you friends for watching this video, and if you like it, then please subscribe our channel and hit the like button. Thank you friends.